Alyssa, you calling from
Yes.
Oakland. Welcome to the program, Alyssa.
Oh, thank you. Can you hear me okay? Is this phone?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, good. Yes, yes. Yeah, I'm calling from Oakland.
And so
Wow, it was crazy there.
I understand. Were you down there in the? Were you in the park Tuesday night, Tuesday morning?
Yeah, I was in the first group that got arrested. I may have been the first person that got arrested. I'm not sure.
Oh well, hold on for a
It,
second.
it,
That deserves a fanfare. Wow. All right. So listen. So all right. What park were you in?
I was in the Oscar. We call it the Oscar Grant Plaza. They call it the Frank Ogawa Plaza. I guess it was formerly called. But
And
yeah, we were there.
And wait, just give me a back up for 1 second. How long were you? How were you sleeping there on a regular basis? Were you just going down and visiting? Tell me what was happening in the park, just in general.
I was, yeah, I'm like, I went back down and visited almost every day. I've been visiting, and just a huge supporter of the movement. It's really been, they've done amazing things. They've created a school. I won't get into all that, but they've done really great things. So, I've been going down there. I actually, responded to the text they sent out because I was down there till like 11 o'clock, Monday night, and then nothing was happening. So I went home, and they sent out a text at like 2:40 in the morning.
Uh
So
huh.
I went back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and
think they got a
you know what
tip.
they had?
My understanding is they got a tip based upon some other press people saying that there was going to be a press conference, and they got a tip. But I want to even back up because I want you to tell me a little bit about what was going on at that park. You said that they were developing a school down there. One of the big the excuses that the mayor of Oakland said, well, we had to close this thing down because of hygiene and safety issues. Address that.
I am like I am was so much safer there with Occupy Oakland being in control than the mayor. It's ridiculous. I mean, the community was not exactly pretty because we took in everyone. The homeless, their needs were being addressed. Mentally ill were people were like brought into the community, and you saw them kind of rejoin. It was really, a great thing. And then these young people, like they were mainly like the people that sleep there are mainly in their 20s, but they're really dedicated, really smart, and compassionate. They just want to to a society that doesn't like judge your success by how greedy you are, but by more like being compassionate and helping each other. And they were setting that up. They fed the homeless and did all kinds of stuff. I'm going a little blank right now, sorry,
No, but that's
but
fine.
yeah.
All right. So what happened? You came back to the park at 2:30 or so, or 3 in the morning, and then what happened?
Okay, yeah, I got the text, and I'm lucky that I got in because I found out from somebody that I saw in jail later that they had blocked off the road. So they
Mm.
weren't even letting people in to respond to the text because I guess the police knew that they were, what Oakland was doing. So I got in, and there weren't that many of us, but nothing. When I
How
first
many
got
would you
there, I didn't
say?
see any police.
When you say not that many, 50, 100, 20,
No,
200?
I I'd say more like 200, maybe more, because people were sleeping in the tent still. Some
Okay.
people were sleeping, and if I forget, remind me to tell you what the police did to them. It was horrible. Um, yeah, so the police didn't come. The police like we saw helicopters and stuff, but the police didn't come. The raid didn't start till almost 5, I think. And what they did was they like I don't know how many of them, but just probably more police than there were of us, like significantly more, came from both directions at the park, like they surrounded us. And the first thing they did was they gave us a warning. They said it was like 5 minutes, but it didn't even seem like they warned us that long. And we were singing. We had talked about it. It was going to be nonviolent. Just and people were singing and chanting that that we were fighting for their pension. I even had I made copies of the article about Albany refusing to take the orders, that they
Uh-huh.
didn't have to take, unlawful orders. So, but they came up, and then the first thing they did, gave us 5 minutes. Then they threw tear gas. I don't know if they threw one or two of those tear gas bombs, and then I'm not sure if they shot those bullets, but there were like these loud bangs. So we ran over to the other side, and when we were at the other side, there was another like line of police, and they again gave us a quick warning, and before they just started coming in. Everybody, we had like barricaded the area, put up a blockade, to slow down the police from entering. So they came in and just were throwing stuff down. And
All right, listen, wait, let me stop you here for a second. Are you saying that the police, they gave you a warning, they said clear the park or you'll be arrested, and before they even attempted to arrest people, they started lobbing tear gas?
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't even ask us, because, to go willingly. They just threw tear gas in. Yeah. They didn't say, would you come? Nothing like that. And it didn't even seem like they gave us a full 5 minutes. It just seemed like they came, they wanted to just storm the camp, basically. Like, as if we were at war and they were, terrorizing a village. But, it was just really bad. I was surprised at the extent of brutality they showed, unnecessary. So they threw in the tear gas. We ran over to the other side, and we locked arms again, and we're chanting peacefully, and this side of the police, they started throwing the blockade stuff over, and they came in, and as they approached, I felt somebody grab me from behind. He didn't even say, would you come? He just grabbed me. A police officer grabbed me from behind. I had my bag because I have multiple sclerosis. So I had my medicine and even my ID, everything was in my bag, but he just threw it, and grabbed me forcefully. And I was like, I need my bag, I have MS, my medicine's in it. He was like, too bad, and I kept on saying I needed it, and it was only because of that another police officer gave it to me. He wasn't going to.
Wow.
But he handcuffed me. Yeah, I know, it's just like, but he handcuffed me. Luckily, my handcuffs weren't that tight. Some people's were really extremely tight, and they left them on for like 5 hours, like almost the whole time we were in the holding cell. So he marched me down. When they came in from behind, they were also like, for the people that were still in tents, they were literally kicking them like they were playing soccer. Like just kicking the people, the tents with people in them, but 2 police officers. It's just terrible.
Did they approach the tents and say, you got to get out of the tents, or did they just go up and start kicking them?
They just started kicking them, knocking everything down. They destroyed everything as they came in. As they approached, to the people that came in, the police that came in from behind us, they just came in destroying stuff.
So this is around.
And these are the same police officers. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, yeah, these are the same police officers that we were being friendly with, as friendly as possible on the marches and, stuff like that. And it's just like, it was really, I don't know. I mean, I thought that I was, I understood. I thought that I knew, like, that Oakland police can be violent and don't exactly protect the people they're supposed to. But when they actually, I was still surprised. It was still shocking how far they went.
And so this is about 4:30 in the morning or so. Is that right?
Yeah.
And
so,
what did they do with you once they cuffed you? Once the second cop was willing to give you your bag with your MS medication, what did they do?
They took us down, and there was like a huge line of us, and processed us to put us on a bus, put us on police buses. And I actually have a little video clip I was able to take on my phone because the protesters were on there singing like "We shall overcome," and these are the people they're calling violent. As the police are kicking people in sleeping beds, and the actual protesters are on the bus singing. I just wanted to show that because we were peaceful, and they're not the way that both the police and the media and the mayor is, portraying them.
Well, will you send us that video?
Yeah, I have it online.
Yeah, send us the link to that video.
It's really not clear.
Okay,
yeah,
that's
it's really not clear because I was hiding the phone. Yeah.
That's all right.
So anyway.
So you get into the bus, and then what happens?
They just have us sitting there forever with the cuffs on. Somebody was diabetic. They had his cuffs on too tight. It took them forever to respond to our request, telling them we had an urgent medical problem. It took forever for them to address that. And that's the way it was all night with different medical things that came up. So when they finally got us to the holding cell, they noticed that some of us had taken our cuffs off, and I guess some of the officers down there weren't happy about it. So this one young girl, they just grabbed her, like twisted her wrist, like I don't know if they sprained it or what, and like put the cuffs on really tight. And they were just showing, I think they really want to crush the movement. They must feel really threatened because they were just showing, like from the beginning, just excessive force. We were in there for I don't know how long before they moved us to another cell. And then from that cell, they were going to process us. And when one of the deputies tried to tell me something, I jumped, and because I have MS, and I tried to tell her it's not, I wasn't like not cooperating in anything. I just have MS, so I jumped when people do it. But she wouldn't accept that, and she tried to slam me against the wall, and then when I said something, she forced me back into the cell and said that, she wasn't going to process me. She was going to process everybody else, but she could keep me there for like 20 hours just because I, have MS and I jumped when she said something to me. But the person that was in there with me then asked them about, she asked them, like, why were they on a power trip? And they threw her back in there with me, too, which I felt bad for her because she had to stay just because I did. And they kept us in there for a really long time, wouldn't give us our name or badge number for, a long time. Luckily, I was able to get a little bit of cell service. And then, also, I was going to need more medicine because I thought, like, okay, if I get arrested, it'll be a couple hours. I didn't know that they were, some of the people may still be in there. I didn't know that they would, and we were charged with camping.
You were charged with camping?
Like, yeah, that's what they said at first. I was like, why are we here? He was like, oh, for camping. I was like, well, I wasn't camping. I was just here supporting them. So I guess I'm charged with supporting campers. I'm not sure. But all this violence for that, what they said on the form was they changed it to loitering and refusal to leave a riot scene. The only people rioting were the police. So anyway, so then we're in the cell. They're telling me that they don't. Oh, when I said, don't I have rights, about, because they didn't give us a phone call. We just luckily had ourselves. They were like, welcome to jail. And I asked about getting my medicine, and, I wasn't going to get any more medicine. So, so then finally they processed everybody. Me and this one woman were still in the cell, and finally I was able to get a tweet out. And thank God for Daily Codes and also the National Lawyers Guild and Twitter. I don't know what combination it was that got them to actually come in and process me or whatever, but their whole attitude changed. They were like, do you want to see a doctor, et cetera. And then, but they were still being mean to everybody else. So I have mixed feelings about that, but I'm glad, I'm grateful. So they finally and they put us they finally processed us, had me see a nurse and put us in this cell with everyone and said we were going to Santa Rita. This one woman came in, she was 18, and she had come in after us. Like there was a second round of, I guess, police, people that had been blocked from the area somehow got to it, and that's when the police beat up a whole second number of, group of people and sent them to jail. And this 18-year-old girl, she said that she was there with her mother. First, the police attacked her mother, as she was standing back, and her mother's disabled. And then when she tried to protect her mother, they grabbed her, slammed her down. That's also on video. She had like this big cut in her mouth, and it was just like terrible. And so finally I got out.
And what did they say? I heard reports that they were putting restrictions on people in terms of them returning to the park. Did they say what was going to happen to you? Did they say don't go back to the park? What did they say?
Right. They told me that if they see me in the park, because I have a court date December 5th and a $10,000 bail, but I guess they waived that for now. They said if they see me there again, they'll hold me to December 5th, plus like double or triple the bail, and that I would have to pay in order to get out before then. And I don't know if that's even like...
Who told you that? I mean, who told you that? I want to really be explicit about this. Who told you that?
The Oakland, the person that was processing me when I was leaving, that was when I had to sign the papers to leave.
Uh-huh. And do you have copies of those papers? What were the papers what did the papers say?
I have to find it. That's a good question. Because
And have you been in touch with a lawyer? I mean, are they providing legal? Is anybody at Occupy Oakland hooked you up with a lawyer? I'm really curious as to how people reacted to that, because I've never heard anything quite like that.
Me either, and I was me either. The National Lawyers Guild, like I said, I think that may be who got me out, because when they heard they weren't giving me my medicine and stuff, but I'm just not sure. But yeah, somebody from the National Lawyers Guild actually came down there to help me get me out. But I haven't talked to him, and I'm sorry I can't find the paper that it lists like what my charges were and stuff. But yeah, he told me that, and I asked somebody else that was bailed out, and he said they told him the same thing. And I was the only person that got out, I guess, that wasn't bailed out that I know of, as of like yesterday by 5 o'clock. I got out at like 12.
Wow. And so what did you do when you got out? I assume went home and rested.
Well, I was well, I wish. I got out. The media was there and stuff, so I talked to a couple of people. But I was supposed to get my property because they took most of it before we got on the bus. Then when I went to get it, they said that I couldn't get it until tomorrow. They weren't going to let any of us get it until tomorrow, and that I had to make an appointment. And my car keys were in it. I was like, I need my keys. And it was like they made up that law, or that law, like just from as I was crossing the street. Because I had been told up until then, all you have to do is go pick up your property. But when I got there, I needed an appointment, and they weren't doing it until tomorrow.
Wow. Unbelievable.
Yeah, yeah.
Alyssa, can I ask you, what do you do? How old are you?
I'm 43. I was working for, I was probably one of the oldest people there, too. I was working for, I did social work. I worked for medical outreach for a long time, and I had to stop working about 2 years ago because of the progression of MS.
Well, I got to tell you.
So I've been doing a whole bunch of volunteer.
Your story is really inspirational, and it's really.
I went back yesterday too.
You did? Tell us about that.
Yeah.
What did you see when you went back?
Oh, when I went back, we marched. Oh, it was like there were so many people because we're going to keep meeting in front of the library at 6 o'clock. We marched down back through the back by the plaza to the police station. I saw the police take bully their clubs and start beating up a couple. Like they pulled some of us, like 3 people or 2 people, out of the group and just started like hitting them with the billy club and like slamming them down. And then the crowd was like standing around saying shame. And I just I thought there was a whole but then we divided. Then we kept marching. Then I saw like just people being tear gassed, and people told me that they saw the rubber bullets and stuff. I didn't want to get arrested again, so I wasn't up front this time. Like, part of me wanted to, but I was like, I'm just too tired. I need to rest. So I kind of stayed in the back, but I wanted to be there, like, as much as I could.
Well, Alyssa, again,
Yeah.
it's such an inspirational story. It's, so much bravery that you're showing, and I really appreciate you sharing your story with us. Is there anything else you wanted to let us know?
No, just that, like I hope people don't let the media give them I hope that they understand that these are good kids. Even if you see a couple of them acting up, just think of going to a college dorm or something. It's pretty age appropriate. For the most part, they are way more politically informed and caring than my generation was. And what they're doing is really inspirational, and I'm really grateful to them and, all the other people. And there are a lot of people still in the Oakland jail, and I hope people call down there. There's a number at the Occupy Oakland website. I hope people call down there and complain about the mayor and, to get people out, And also, we were nonviolent.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
I
it
guess
sounds
that's
like it. It sounds like they completely, essentially, just wanted to create a lot of violence. I mean, that's what it sounds like to me. When
yeah.
they don't, when the
Yeah.
first thing that they do is fire tear gas into a crowd without trying to just walk up and arrest people who are willing to be arrested, it sounds like to me they're looking to crack some heads.
Exactly. They want to make this point. And, yeah, they were chasing us around all night because what I hear is the city is determined not to let us form another camp. And it's like, what were they doing? Helping poor people. It seems like the more a group effectively helps poor people, the harder, the top 1% or ruling class or whatever kind of cracks down on them. You could kind of tell how effective the movement is by how big the forces against them may be.
I think
I
you're
don't know.
right. Well, Alyssa, I really appreciate your calling in. Don't hesitate to call in again if and give us updates on what's going on out there.
Oh, thanks a lot, and thanks for your show. I'm a huge fan, and for anybody that, like the lawyer and everybody, I do want to thank them too. So
Okay.
that's all. Thanks.
All right. Well, thanks so
Okay,
much for calling
bye.
in.